Ripple and XRP, or Stellar and XLM. And with Elon Musk saying that 2025 is looking good, could he be hinting at adopting one or both of these cryptocurrencies or something completely different?
Media app X wants to become a super app and expand its reach with plans to release a payment system later this year.
So in this video, we're going to share what Elon Musk's secret plans are with X payments and XMoney.
The CEO of X, Linda Yaccarino, posting that XMoney will, quote, connect you in ways never thought possible. XTV, XMoney, Grok, and more.
In the secret partnership that will shock the world. On top of that, we're talking about Ripple's stablecoin and how this will enhance XRP, what the connections are between Ripple, Swift, and Chainlink, and how they will be used for the transfer of value globally in the new financial system. We have to talk about the XRP, the US dollar price chart, and some expectations moving into Inauguration Day on the 20th. We also have to get into the XLM to the US dollar price chart and what's a better hold right now, XRP or XLM, or does it make sense to be diversified amongst both? And also which cryptocurrency giant the Federal Reserve is planning on implementing into the FedNow system, what you need to be ready for from the Federal Reserve by March of this year, some major events to look forward to, some price predictions for these cryptocurrencies, and we even asked Grok, will XLM be used for Elon Musk's XMoney? And the answer will shock you. Plus, we have some major updates for those of you guys inside of Altcoin Pro University and those of you guys considering joining that you're not going to want to miss. So comment 777 if you're feeling blessed. If you're feeling bullish, let's run it. Hey, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So I've got some exciting news for you guys today. We've been listening to all of your feedback, and it's clear that the recent price hike for Altcoin Pro University to $197 a month was just a bit too steep for many people. And you've told us loud and clear that you want the highest quality crypto education and support that we provide at Altcoin Pro University, but at a price that's accessible to everyone. So here's the big reveal in this video. Before we get into the main value of what we're going to talk about today, we're slashing our prices back to just $97 a month. That's right. We're going back to our roots because we want everyone to have the chance to join our community without breaking the bank and to show our appreciation for those of you guys that got started after the New Year's. We're reimbursing everyone who signed up at the $197 rate because we believe in making the gold standard of crypto education available to as many people as possible. And this is our way of saying thank you for sticking with us and believing in our vision. Now, you might be wondering why we're doing this. Well, it's simple. We received an overwhelming number of messages and emails from members in our community over the past few weeks asking us to keep the price at just $97. And we heard you and we agree. At this price, we can maintain the exclusivity and the quality of education while scaling Altcoin Pro University. And this move ensures that we can continue offering top-tier value, top-tier education at a price that everyone can afford. But wait, we're not just stopping at that price rollback. We're planning on introducing even more exclusive products down the line, like private coaching calls with industry experts to get your questions answered on private one-on-one calls. These will be available on top of our current offerings, ensuring that even at just $97 a month, you're getting massive value. And speaking of exclusive, have you heard about our upcoming event in Las Vegas, Nevada on January 28th? This is not just any ordinary event, and it's an exclusive gathering for Altcoin Pro members only, and we rented out a multi-million-dollar mansion for the week, and we've just got 50 tickets available. And those tickets are your golden key to an exclusive experience where you can meet our entire team, dive deep into crypto strategies, and network with other like-minded investors inside of our community. So if you haven't secured your spot yet, you need to act fast because these tickets, they will be sold out in the next few days. And if they're not yet already sold out by the time that you're watching this video, because there's only 50 available. So for just $97 a month, you can get instant access right now to everything inside of Altcoin Pro University that you see through the link in the description below this video, and the ability to secure your spot for our upcoming Vegas event. Now that is a separate ticket price. I believe it's only like $300, which is super affordable. I've attended events for like $5K, $10K. I even went to one out here in Miami, Florida on Star Island that was a $100,000 mastermind. So for only $300, you guys can come hang out with us and picture this: private catering, in-person learning, chilling by the pool or in the hot tub. And if you're into enjoying a cigar or two or sipping some whiskey out by the pool while discussing crypto or business, I will see you there for some amazing conversations. So join the best, most competent crypto investor community on the planet by clicking the link below right now to get started. And we are excited to continue growing with you, providing unmatched education and celebrating the crypto bull run together the rest of this year, because crypto is not just for one bull run, it is for life. So I look forward to seeing you guys on the inside right now when you get started through the link below. With that being said, let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So when we look at XRP sitting at $2.29, over the past 24 hours, we saw a pullback, 5%. Although over the past week, we're still up 10%. The past month, we're down 11%. In the past year, we're up 300%. With a market cap of $130 billion, everyone wants to know, with XLM's market cap sitting at $12.9 billion, up 268% over the past year, down 13% over the past month, but up 29% over the past week, which cryptocurrency is a better hold? Which one will yield them more gains? And which one makes the most sense to back up the truck for? Now, I'm not going to give you guys financial advice. I'm not telling you what to buy or sell. What I am going to do is I'm going to provide you guys with the facts. I'm going to provide you guys with the news. And then what you choose to do is up to you, because crypto is very risky. You can lose money in these markets. And as always, these videos are just for entertainment, educational purposes only. So when we look at X Payments, this account launched right here. They joined January, 154,000 followers. So Elon Musk has had this plan since the 90s when he purchased X.com. He tried to do it with PayPal, wasn't able to get it done. And then he purchased Twitter with the plans of turning it into like the everything app, like what China has with WeChat. If you guys have been subscribed to the channel for a while, we talked about this in previous videos. So the first thing that we need to discuss before we get into which cryptocurrency Elon Musk plans on integrating is what's happening on the Bitcoin to the US dollar price chart. I brought this up in a previous video and we compared it to the past of what happened back in early January of last year, about a year ago, when the ETFs were getting approved. And so just 1 year later, we're seeing a similar chart pattern play out. Now, Bitcoin is pulling back pretty rapidly over the past 24 to 48 hours. We did see it get rejected from this ascending support, which was resistance, upwards of $100,000, very similar to what we saw happen back here in the tail end of January of 2024, where Bitcoin sold off and then consolidated at this range before the next breakout that took place. Even though Bitcoin is pulling back a little steeper, the support that we need to watch right here at the top of the screen is around $91,000. That support needs to hold. Otherwise, it could get pretty nasty for Bitcoin, and we could see an even deeper flush out for leverage traders in the short term before we ultimately continue higher. Now, what I would expect to happen, and I'll get into that throughout the course of this video, so consider watching all the way to the end. You guys are going to absolutely love this. But when we see these chart patterns play out, where we see an ascending support like this and Bitcoin respecting the support and we see it break it, generally what we see happen is retests of ascending supports like this, like we've seen happen the past two times. Once right here on the 26th of December, another time just recently on the 6th of January. So on our market call inside of Altcoin Pro, for those of you that were a part of that, I was talking about this consolidation phase right here. Now, it could look a little bit different, obviously, compared to the past. It's not going to look the exact same because, as you can tell, there's some minor differences in the chart and how this plays out. But if $91,000 holds as support, I would expect Bitcoin to coil up within this range before seeing a liquidity injection to the upside. Now, like I talked about in my previous video, if this support fails, well, the next support to the downside for Bitcoin is all the way down here at the high for the middle of March at $75,000. So we could come as low as that. We could stop out short of that, at $80,000 and see a liquidity flush like this to basically stop out all of the long traders that have their stop losses set at like $89,000, $88,000. And also, if we look at the leverage that's on the table through CoinGlass.com and the Binance Bitcoin to the USDT liquidation heat map, this shows us how much leverage there is on the table to the upside and to the downside, where if the price goes above this, these traders would be liquidated. So we can see $42 million right here in yellow to the upside, upwards of $95,800. So if the price were to go to 98,000 back to 100, we'd see over $40 million get liquidated for traders on the 12-hour chart. Now, if we zoom out on the 24-hour chart, we can see that there's more leverage to the upside, upwards of $50 million on the 24-hour chart, favoring a bullish move for Bitcoin. On the 48-hour chart, we can see over $100 million in leverage to the upside, upwards of $98,000. So a push for Bitcoin back above $100,000 would now liquidate a lot of traders that are shorting the market. And on the 3-day chart, we can see over 113 million in leverage to the upside. On the 1-week chart, we can see that this move to the downside was to liquidate all of this leverage right here on the left-hand side of the screen. So that was basically hitting the stop losses of all of these traders that didn't think Bitcoin was going to go this low. Now, if we look at the MACD for Bitcoin on the daily, you can see right now the MACD line is at 66, the signal line is at 79. We did witness, if I zoom in for you, a bullish cross right here on the 4th of January where the MACD line in blue crossed above the signal line in orange. Well, the price broke out from $97,000 upwards of $102,000 to retest this ascending support, which is now resistance. So I was expecting the price to pull back and consolidate. Now it did pull back a little bit deeper than expected. And simultaneously, we saw the MACD line turn right back around and now it's intersecting the signal line. So what we need to see here is a bounce from this level and then Bitcoin to just consolidate going into inauguration day. And then also we have the FOMC meeting happening at the end of the month as well too. So that's going to play a major factor in what happens next for the price of Bitcoin and altcoins like XLM and XRP. So it's important that we pay attention to Bitcoin. But this is a good sign that the MACD is all the way down here rather than being all the way up here, seeing a bearish cross well above zero. This would be more signs for concern that Bitcoin would trend lower. So I think we're just going to consolidate sideways and see a bounce here in the short term for Bitcoin and then inevitably a move higher because of what I'm going to talk about with you guys in this video. And that would inevitably lead to another bullish cross. MACD line in blue crosses above the signal line in orange, and we see a momentum shift on the MACD on the daily. Now, I could be wrong there, but here's one of the biggest reasons why. Jim Cramer thinks that Bitcoin is going to continue to drop to $90,000. Listen to this.
Do you think it's cooled off enough?
No, I think it can go down a little more. 90 is the next. I think 90,000 is the next level.
So as you guys know, inverse Cramer, usually what this guy says, the opposite happens. So if he's saying Bitcoin's going to go to $90,000, does that mean that Bitcoin's going to pump back above $100,000? We shall see. But the total market cap of crypto looks much more like 2017 than 2021's bull run. It's just bigger with more liquidity. We have now seen the second retest of the all-time high on the 2-week chart, and things usually get very crazy from here, especially for altcoins. The last time that we saw a second retest like this was all the way back here, right in 2017, where we initially saw the breakout of the high, the first back test, then the second retest, and some volatility right after that, but then absolute massive price explosion to the all-time high. So looking to where we're at right now, well, this could technically be the first retest, but if you consider the consolidation period that happened over the past 200 days as the first test, or even the bear market low as the first retest of the previous all-time high from 2017, well, then what's about to happen next, the rest of this month in February leading into March, is going to be absolutely explosive for the total altcoin market. And you just have to position yourself in the right narratives that will make you the most amount of money. So this brings up the debate about, well, ISO standard projects are going to do very, very well, but which one will do the best? Will it be XRP or XLM? So let's first talk about, XRP and specifically Ripple's stablecoin, because a lot of people have had some questions about that, wondering if they're not going to use XRP, if the stablecoin is going to take over, why would they need XRP? So listen to this interview on Bloomberg from Ripple's president explaining how RLUSD enhances the XRP ledger.
The Ripple stablecoin is a one-to-one dollar-pegged token. And so it is really about facilitating things like payments. The majority of what we have focused on at Ripple is enabling cross-border payments that are faster, always on 24/7, lower cost than more traditional means. And so stablecoins like Ripple USD really facilitate that for our customers. And XRP, it continues to be a native token on the public blockchain, the XRP ledger. And so that token is also very useful for fast payment transactions on that blockchain.
Does this create competition with XRP, though? Are you concerned that with this new stablecoin, folks will be less interested in XRP?
We see them as really complementary to one another. So dollars can be a very effective means for payments, and we have seen that demand from within our customer base. Over time, we facilitated north of $70 billion in cross-border transactions through our payment solutions, and we've already been using stablecoins as a part of that equation. XRP is it's the native asset to the blockchain, so it's used for things like transaction fees, securities on the blockchain, but then also can be a bridge asset to, trading different tokens on the XRP ledger. So we really see the two playing complementary roles.
Speaking of bridge assets, I'm wondering what this means for on-ramp, off-ramp transactions when it comes to new stablecoins for cross-border payment users. What does the new stablecoin really solve? Is there a real reason at the end of the day you felt the need to go in this direction?
Yeah, so the stablecoin market today is, more than $150 billion for U.S. dollar stablecoins, and it's projected to grow to $3+ trillion over the next few years. So this is a market that is exploding. And you just mentioned a key use case for on-ramping and off-ramping into, the blockchain universe from the fiat world or the traditional world. And so we think that the market is continuing to grow and expand, and so having access to compliant, reliable stablecoins, that's the most important thing in a stablecoin, is that it has to be stable and you have to be able to trust the issuer to keep it one-to-one backed. The Ripple US dollar is regulated by New York Department of Financial Services. Their regulation is really seen as kind of the gold standard globally in terms of how rigorous they are with their framework, and so that is I think a reason that especially regulated financial institutions will choose to use Ripple US dollars for on-ramping and off-ramping into the blockchain world.
Monica, as I was preparing for this and reading about this announcement, one thing that struck me was the fact that some of the biggest exchanges out there are missing from this announcement. So right now, this is available on Bitso, MoonPay, CoinMina, additional listings coming on Bullish, Mercado Bitcoin, and others. What about a huge platform like Coinbase and others, for example? When does that happen?
We are continuing to expand distribution and availability of Ripple dollars on other exchanges. So I think you can expect to see more availability, more announcements coming soon.
How soon?
Imminently.
Well, we'll look out for that. What about in terms of adoption? How big do you expect this to get in the next year realistically? I mean, do you have a baseline kind of projection on how big it could get based on the adoption you're talking about with clients? Do you think large institutions are using this? Who's using it?
So, I mean, if we look at the crypto landscape overall, I mean, it has certainly been, the market's been growing in the past couple quarters. And, we think that this year is going to be a big year for crypto overall. And so demand for stable coins, we think will grow along with that. As you mentioned, I mean, it's really the way to on-ramp and off-ramp. It's also used as a key asset in trading. So we think that the market's going to grow tremendously over the course of the next year. Our demand from within our client base, our business doubled within payments last year. And so we see a really strong growth trajectory for our payment solution. And with that, Ripple US dollar will have a premium role.
Monica, what about other asset types? You've seen a lot of interest when it comes to ETFs tied to cryptocurrencies. A lot of questions around whether you could see an ETF tied to spot XRP. What kind of discussions are you having with people about this? Do you think we'll see one soon?
I think we will see one very soon. I think that we will see more, various crypto spot ETFs this year coming out of the U.S. And I think XRP is likely to be next in line after Bitcoin and ETH. There's already been a number of different companies like Canary and others who have filed. And so we think, especially with the administration change, and that the approvals of those filings will accelerate.
Hey, Monica, before we let you go, a very basic one when it comes to Ripple USD versus XRP. Lay out for us who each of these are for.
So both are openly available to users. So with Ripple US dollars, we see growing institutional demand within the world within our customer base for Ripple payments. I mentioned that, and we work with primarily regulated payment service providers and other financial institutions. We also work with a lot of banks. We are a custody provider through Ripple Custody, and they are some of the biggest banks in the world are really interested in providing tokenized asset services. And so with that, U.S. dollar stablecoins are really important to facilitate those use cases. So we see, institutional demand growing for Ripple U.S. dollars, and alongside XRP as well. And as the crypto market expands overall next year, I think there will also be a growing retail need for dollar stablecoins in trading.
So with Ripple working mostly with banks, payment service providers, this is one thing that's very interesting. If we go to payments.x.com, we can see X Payments money transmitter licenses, meaning they are licensed to transmit money in the U.S. jurisdictions listed below. And X Payments LLC is registered with the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, as a money service business, the exact type of business that Ripple does business with. And you can see within jurisdiction and who they're licensed by right here. We got Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, basically all the major states in the United States. Now, one thing that's interesting about this is if we go to ripple.com, right here, they're showing their money transfer license, and Ripple Markets DE LLC is licensed in the following U.S. jurisdictions: Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, Delaware. All of the exact same jurisdictions and states as X Payments, Ripple has as well too. So if you're talking about fiat to crypto exchange, this is really important. That's the transfer of US dollars converting to crypto back and forth through X Payments or other payment providers. First, you need to determine whether your activities fall within FinCEN's definition of money transmitter, money exchange, or similar. If they do, you need to not just register with FinCEN, which is a rather simple activity. A lot of companies can do this, but you also need to register as an appropriate entity in each state you plan to do business in. So AML, know your customer, KYC, and counterterrorism financing plans must be filed and reviewed. So this takes time, and you must either collect KYC data or partner with other firms to get KYC data. That's why we see, by connecting the dots in these videos, these companies not necessarily directly announcing that they're partnering with Ripple or Stellar. They're partnering with companies that Ripple or Stellar are invested in or that they're partnered with to make this happen. It's kind of like if you have your own clothing company, you're not necessarily making the clothing yourself. You have a manufacturer that makes it for you, and then you might have a sub-partnership with some distribution lane or clothing store that basically uses the same manufacturer as you that you benefit from in some way, shape, or form. It's kind of like how the payment processing world works. They're all connected together in some way, shape, or form. And money transmitter licenses is one way that they're able to do business together. So this is one of the major clues that has led people to believe that X Payments or XMONEY through the transmitter licenses is going to be doing business with Ripple. And so when we just ask artificial intelligence, does Stellar have any money transmitter licenses? The answer is no, but they do have partnerships with companies that do. For example, MoneyGram, which is a global money transfer service that is licensed as a money transmitter by the New York Department of Financial Services back in 2021. Stellar and MoneyGram partnered to integrate Stellar's blockchain technology into their payment infrastructure, which allows users to send cross-border stablecoin payments on Stellar that can be cashed out at MoneyGram locations. Now, what does this have to do with X Payments, and does Stellar or Ripple even need money transmitter licenses if X Payments already has this? Well, if we just ask Grok right here, the answer that it spits back is, in the context of doing business with X Payments, which already holds money transmitter licenses, both Stellar and Ripple would still need to consider their own licensing requirements, because Stellar, as a decentralized payment protocol, themselves might not directly need money transmitter licenses if it's not acting as the intermediary in money transmission. However, any entity or service provider on the Stellar network that directly handles customer funds or provides money transmission services would likely need to obtain their own money transmitter licenses. Unless they are merely facilitating transactions through X Payments licensed infrastructure, the Stellar Development Foundation, which supports the Stellar protocol, does not directly conduct money transmission, but supports entities that might need to comply with these regulations. Whereas Ripple Labs, through the XRP ledger, has historically engaged in activities that could classify it as a money transmitter. Ripple has faced regulatory scrutiny with the SEC through the lawsuit. So if Ripple were to conduct transactions or act as an intermediary in the transfer of funds with X payments, they would likely need their own money transmitter licenses to comply with state and federal regulations. So Ripple's involvement in money transmission is more directly compared to Stellar's, given its business model, which includes services like on-demand liquidity that could be seen as money transmission. So if Stellar or Ripple are merely using X payment services as a platform and not directly handling or transmitting money through them, they wouldn't be required to have their own licenses, as X payments would handle the regulatory compliance for the transmission aspect. However, if either company is involved in directly handling custody or transmission of funds, they would need to secure their own money transmitter licenses. And so that's what Ripple is doing. Because Ripple's partnerships are vast, and the majority of businesses they do business with are banks in other countries as well too. So it's only common sense that Ripple would need these money transmitter licenses. And also, when you guys saw the recent partnership that just took place between Chainlink and Ripple, look at this. Swift will use Chainlink for messaging. So what do you think they will use for the transfer of value? XRP. Look at the recent partnership between Chainlink and Ripple. Do you see the puzzle pieces that are coming together here? We can see the Chainlink standard through the price feeds, the composability through DeFi protocols, lending, borrowing, DEX, yield farming, etc. The utility for the growth of users, volume, and awareness that leads to more expansion for both Chainlink and RLUSD, which, based on what you heard from Monica Long, benefits XRP. So when we look at the XRP, the US dollar price chart, XRP still is following the market with Bitcoin as well too, until we at least see what I'm going to talk about in a little bit go live in March and later this year in November for the ISO standard. But when we look at the XRP, the US dollar price chart, this is typically how we see these consolidation periods play out. So if we were to just draw a descending resistance from the recent high of the 3rd of December and connect it to where we're at right now, we got rejected from the resistance for the third time. And the real question is, will XRP continuously put in higher lows since the 10th of December? Because as you guys can see, we're in a symmetrical triangle right here where we see resistance right here, resistance right here. We see support right here, support right here. And so in our monthly market call that we did in Altcoin Pro, I talked about how it's very likely the XRP comes back down to this ascending support and sees a bounce off of it before we clear this descending resistance, hold it as support, and then continue the uptrend. So if I were to just draw the chart from the past in the last bull run, what that would look like, it would look something like this. We need XRP to continuously put in higher lows, and anything that happens between this descending resistance and this ascending support is irrelevant until one of two things happen. Number one, until we break the recent high of the 4th of January and even the high of the 17th of December and clear $2.75. Inevitably, we need to clear the high of the 3rd of December and go back into price discovery for the year. Or we break below the support of roughly $1.90 and we see where the next support is to the downside, which there isn't much. You know, if we zoom all the way out, it's all the way down here at like $1.40. So we need to see XRP do what it did all the way back here during this phase in the market cycle. And there could be volatility over the next 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks for XRP. As you can see, the price went up to 60 cents, flash crashed back down to 45 cents, which was a drop of, if I were to just measure this for you guys, 23%. So a lot of people, you know, on the macro, they're like, oh, XRP just exploded to the upside, when they don't even zoom in on the micro on the daily chart and see how volatile these price swings were in the short term. Even these tiny little daily candles right here, look at this price swing. That's 9%, 10% over the course of one day on the 31st of March of 2021. So it's very normal on a daily basis to see XRP or XLM or Bitcoin fluctuate 5, 10, 15, 20%. So I would not be shocked if from this level right here, we drop another 9 or 10% back down to $2, spook everybody out of the market, liquidate a lot of leverage traders that are entering in longs right now before we work our way through this range and break a resistance, hold it as support, and then see a next massive liquidity injection that comes very, very fast. Now, we don't know when that will happen, but as you can see, if I just trace the chart up from the past, how quickly this can take place and how fast XRP can explode in a matter of a week or two. So that's why it's important to have a long-term outlook on the market and just have more money on the sidelines to put into the crypto market. Now, if you guys don't have a lot of money to put in the crypto market, if you're already fully allocated to different projects, well, then there is a way for you guys to be able to capitalize on this opportunity right here to make more money so you can put more into the crypto market, or you can diversify into real estate or whatever else you want to do before the bull runs over. Listen to this.
Hey bull runners, this is super time sensitive, especially if you're looking to stack more crypto before the bull run is over. Did you know that Visa and Mastercard lost a $5.5 billion class action lawsuit for imposing unfair fees on merchants and business owners. So if you own a business, or if you know any business owners that process payments with Visa or Mastercard between 2004 and 2019, that's 15 years, you could actually be owed a refund of 1 to 1.5% of your total revenue from that period. That's a lot of money. For example, this business that generated 1.6 million in credit card revenue during those years is getting back $28,000. This business that generated over 7 million is getting back $93,000. And this business that generated over $20 million during those years is getting back over $320,000. That's money they didn't even know was on the table. And all they did was fill out a form through the link below this video. It literally takes less than a minute to see if you qualify, but you don't want to wait too long because the deadline to file is February 4th, 2025. So the sooner that you fill out the form below, the sooner that you can reclaim what's rightfully yours. Plus, if you don't have a business, you can actually earn 3% by referring businesses that do qualify by creating your affiliate account through the link below. So this is a no-brainer way to get money back in your pocket to use for your business, or if you want to use it for crypto or other assets to invest in, you can do that. So click the link below. Let's get you paid.
Now, when you guys get started through the link in the description below, you're going to see that next to the link to join Altcoin Pro. We've already helped over 366 businesses get approved that have processed over $400 million, and the total interchange fees is $6.9 million. Final approval amount is around $3.5 million that we're helping these businesses get back. Now, this number is going to change by February 4th, and so to see what you qualify for, definitely check that out. I know you guys are going to love it. Now, let's dive into a little bit about XLM here, because to answer the question of what project is a better hold that will most likely yield the biggest gains, I make no guarantees, but I will share with you guys my thought process and what I'm doing for my portfolio here, because I'm diversified across both of them. I do think XLM has the potential to outperform XRP, and I could even see XLM running first before XRP on the next major breakout. And if I were to go to the XLM to the US dollar price chart and just trace up what happened back in the past last bull run during this entire phase right here, where XLM saw these massive price swings of, 20% all the way to 40, 50% pullbacks right here with these extreme breakouts on these bullish candles on the daily, the pullbacks for XLM were a lot more volatile. And so that's where you have to be able to stomach these pullbacks of 40, 50% for XLM. So if I were to just zoom over to where we are right now, from the 24th of November, the pullback that we've seen is 49, 50%. So I do think that XLM will hold the support of 31 cents. And we're working through this range very similar to what we saw happen back the last bull run, where it's just going to be choppy. It's going to be volatile, right? You see these massive breakouts followed by these aggressive pullbacks on the way up. And then on the next leg up for XLM, whether that puts us at 75 cents to $1, I would just expect the next pullback to be another 40 to 50%. So one thing that we can do is if we zoom out here on the weekly chart and we were to zoom in for you guys and add these key indicators like the moving average, convergence, divergence, the MACD, you can see that the MACD line in blue is still above the signal line in orange. And this is a very, very good sign that there's still more bullish momentum to take place, even when we see the histogram kind of rotate around a little bit, similar to what we saw happen here from the 23rd of November until the 4th of January of 2021, right here before the next breakout happened for XLM. The MACD line started to roll around a little bit, but it stayed above the signal line throughout the majority of that bull run until we saw a bearish cross. The bearish cross is the signal that the bull run is over, and this is when we see the bear market kick in. So in my opinion, we are at this first initial pump for this bull run market, whereas XLM has been suppressed since the bear market bottom, even during the early stages of this bull run, and we still have yet to see the peak come in. So I would just expect the MACD to get drastically into overbought territory and stay above the signal line over the next few months until we see a bearish cross happen a little bit later in the market. Now, it'd be a little bit different if we were seeing a bearish cross happen right now and we were in like March of this year and Bitcoin was overly bought on the monthly. The RSI is above 80 to 90 for Bitcoin on the monthly, but we're just not seeing that happen yet. So this is telling me that there's still more room to run for altcoins, specifically XLM, and I think it'll perform well alongside XRP. These two move together. Now, as XLM recently showed major signs of recovery, we can take a look back at its fib levels and its performance from the prior bull cycle. With another 2017-like bullish cycle for XLM, we may see a near 20x from here and over a 1,700% climb to $8.30 with the potential for $11 and higher, according to Javon here on Twitter. Now, if that happens, the altcoin market is going to go absolutely ballistic. So we saw it happen back in 2017. Very well possible that happens again. Again, no guarantees here, but with FedNow coming out and gaining adoption across the United States, their platform has been undergoing their pilot phase with over 120 organizations taking part, including recent additions like US Bank, Exchange Bank, various payment processors, solution providers, Ripple, a prominent provider of cross-border payments, and open source distributed ledger technology for financial transactions may be included among the fintech companies that FedNow will utilize. Additionally, Stellar Lumens XLM, a blockchain-based payment network that offers a quick and more cost-effective method for executing global payments, might also be among the companies that FedNow will use. Now, one thing that's interesting here is I showed this in a previous video. The Federal Reserve FRBservices.org shows right here that Fedwire Fund Service for the ISO 222 Implementation Center, they will be having a single day implementation strategy on March 10th of 2025. So I don't think it's a coincidence that we're seeing Elon Musk come out and say that 2025 is going to be a great year, that we're now seeing Brad Garlinghouse and Stewart with President Donald Trump right before he gets inaugurated. I mean, come on, guys. It's one thing if the CEO meets with the president, but the head of the legal department, come on now. There's a lawsuit here. This lawsuit is going to be dropped anytime soon. And I'm pretty convinced that it's already dropped. It's just a show at this point, and they're just waiting to reveal the news. They don't want to do it too soon because that would cause the price of XRP to pump a little too early. So they're just waiting for the right moment to drop the news. It's like a company that develops a product, a health and nutrition product. They already have it finished, sitting in the warehouse, and they're just waiting to announce to the masses that the product's ready for purchase. It's the same thing with the lawsuit. It's already done. They're just waiting to make the announcement. In March 10th, it's no coincidence that the Fedwire Fund Service is having a single day implementation strategy on March 10th for the new ISO 222 messaging standard. They're saying this right in front of our face. We will be sunsetting the existing proprietary Fedwire application interface manual format and replacing all FAIM messages with ISO 222 messages. So this is why the ISO standard projects have already exploded on that first breakout, because smart investors know what's coming, like you guys. For example, Crypto Mentality posted this saying Stellar XLM is about to explode. XLM went from 9 cents to 63 cents, and alt season hasn't even really started yet. We're just at the previous all-time highs. Gary Gensler resigns on the 20th. Inauguration day is on the 20th. Fedwire goes live March 10th. XMONEY partners potentially with Stellar. Let's talk about what Grok has to say about that. Franklin Templeton, $1.7 trillion in assets on Stellar's blockchain. So they are literally telling you guys, XLM is going to develop the world's new financial system alongside Ripple and XRP. It's only sitting at a $13 billion market cap. So that's why I choose to hold XLM. They're saying this, develop the world's new financial system. It's not a matter of if, it's just when it happens. So when we ask Grok, will XLM be used for Elon Musk's XMONEY, the speculation about Stellar Lumens XLM being used for XMONEY, which is a part of his broader vision for X.com, formerly Twitter, for this everything app for payments, has been a topic of interest. And there have been hints and discussions within the crypto community, crypto Twitter, XRP army, XLM army, suggesting that XLM is a better fit, as Stellar's blockchain is praised for its speed, low transaction costs, scalability, which align well with the requirements for a global payment system like XMONEY. On top of that, connections between Elon Musk and Jed McCaleb, the co-founder of Ripple Labs and creator of Stellar, have fueled this speculation. McCaleb's involvement with other ventures, including a space startup in partnership with Elon Musk, SpaceX, has further stirred discussions on social media about the potential integration of XLM into Musk's platform because of their partnership. So they're both very aware of who they are. They're in business together. And as of now, there have been no official confirmation from Elon Musk or X Corp regarding the use of XLM for XMONEY. But I just find it weird that they're all using X, which basically just means international use of a currency. That's why the US dollar is within the United States, whereas like gold is XAU or silver is XAG. So that's why it's XRP or XLM or XDC, because it's meant to be used globally rather than just in one country specifically. So a lot of people out there have been interpreting Musk's interactions or partnerships with a sign that XLM could be the chosen cryptocurrency for XMoney. However, these interpretations could be taken with caution as they are often speculative and based on indirect evidence or wishful thinking. Now, another point to consider is that XMoney might opt for a multi-currency approach or even choose other cryptocurrencies to integrate on top of just XLM. Like they could do XRP, XLM, Bitcoin, even Dogecoin. I wouldn't expect Elon Musk to just leave Dogecoin out of it. I would expect it to work with the majority of cryptocurrencies because it just allows for more business. If he's calling it an everything app, it would make sense to have everything in the cryptocurrency space and all these different currencies to be able to swap in and out of fiat currencies. So I think it'll just overall benefit the industry. That's my take on it. I don't think it's just going to be like one or the other. I think it's going to be multiple. And until we see Elon Musk come out and make an announcement about which blockchain he's using, that's where it will highlight a specific cryptocurrency. So I think it's going to be one of the two, but then it's going to be integrated and able to use with other currencies. That's why we're seeing partnerships with like Ripple and Chainlink, Cardano and Ripple as well too. They're starting to work together. And that's what Algorand did with their foundation as well too, to work with Ripple. And so we asked Grok, if you were to give it a percentage like 60% or 90%, what percentage would you give XRP and XLM for being used with XMoney? So Grok said XLM, it would give it around a 40 to 50% chance. This is because Stellar has a strong case for being used due to its technical capabilities, low transaction fees, high speed, and also financial inclusion, which aligns well with broad-based payment systems. And the connection between Musk and Jed McCaleb also add to this likelihood through Vast and SpaceX. XRP, Grok would give around a 30 to 40% chance. So actually XLM Grok is ranking higher, which I find very interesting. So right now, while I'm making this video, that's actually leading me to get more excited about maybe adding a little more XLM to my portfolio. Now, as always, these are purely speculative numbers, and nobody will know until Elon Musk makes the announcement himself, or Brad Garlinghouse makes the announcement, or Donald Trump. I just think it's too weird that they're all meeting together and posting cryptic tweets the past few months that we're going to be decoding for you guys on this channel. So make sure you like this video, subscribe for more. And if you guys want to see what other projects we are extremely bullish on, check this out. Our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and is currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. And the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University through the link below. And although we make no guarantees because crypto is definitely risky, guys, this is only $97 a month or $970 a year. If you want to save $194, getting 2 months for free and unlock some exclusive bonuses, just go through the link in the description below, get in right now, watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers to help you become the first millionaire in your family tree. If that's a goal of yours, our goal is to help 1,000 members set their portfolio up for life this month. And you can get started through the link in the description below right now, or you can go to bullrunners.com to take advantage of the bonuses we're giving you before they expire. Everyone is loving the community. They're loving the education. They're getting access to real-time altcoin picks first before we ever make videos about them. So click the link in the description below, watch the video, and I'll see you on the inside.